Okay, so what Randolph just said was completely and entirely arbitrary because he has conceded here several times tonight. He has no idea whatsoever what prescribes. And are the facts that you speak here arbitrary, or do they have an ultimate and final grounding?
They're just as arbitrary as yours.
Okay, are you conceding here tonight that your worldview and all of the dependent statements that are derived from it are entirely arbitrary?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so you just admitted that your atheism is irrational.
Just like yours, Duncan.
Okay, then, but now you're not getting the implications. When you concede that your statements are arbitrary, then they're vacuous. Because then I can just sit there and say to you, you're wrong because the moon is made out of green cheese. You're just making arbitrary statements.
Assumptions.
Okay, yeah. What that is that's an appeal to arbitrariness.
So then you would reject arbitrariness because arbitrariness would be the negation of a rational justification. Here, you're not understanding. If you start with an assumption and then you build on an assumption, okay? If you start with assumption X and you say, therefore Z, okay? The assertion of Z depends upon assumption is arbitrary. Therefore, the assertion of this as well.
Virtually every assumption we make, or more appropriately, a hypothesis.
Yeah, a metaphysic.
How would somebody defend themselves against God's their lives be ended?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear
you see, you're just being arbitrary. You're being arbitrary. So in other words, what you're saying is it would not be a contradiction of God's love if somebody could fight back. I mean, that's just arbitrary.
Well, it's by context because things
no,
are.
It's arbitrary. That's an arbitrary thing that you throw in.
Then if you don't have a basis for reason, then you can't verbalize you lack belief, because then that lack of belief would just simply be an arbitrary declaration and not is your reason. And then you turn around and you say to me, well, you assume that your basic cognitive apparatus operates in a basic, reliable way. Then you're telling me that your ultimate authority is your assumptions.
Sure, if you want to say that.
Okay, good. Therefore, your ultimate authority are your arbitrary ideas.
Well, okay.
Therefore, you cannot claim that your atheism is rational.
Well, given the assumption that it is true, I can, actually.
Okay, but you see, you're being arbitrary and inconsistent because you want something other than assumptions in order to believe something, isn't it? When it comes to justification, you're either going to have that justification end in a terminus or a terminal point, or it's going to be an infinite regress of justification, or it's going to have to be on the basis of an arbitrary Okay, so what you're saying then is that our most foundational mental states are simply arbitrary? Ultimately grounds it, you say, I don't know. So all of your statements of possibility and impossibility are arbitrary.
What's wrong with I don't know?
Bribe reality.
No, I asked you, are they definitional and conventional?
Yes.
They are.
Yes means
okay,
yes.
So basically, now, when you tell me that all entities conform to the law of identity and non-contradiction, are you just simply doing so definitionally and arbitrarily?
Yes, the law of logic describes everything.
So it's arbitrary then?
No.
Okay, so about the God of the Bible. In no way was it arbitrary at all. But somebody who wants to troll and to annoy other people will say that their opponent is being arbitrary.
I have a question.